In this video, I'm going to talk about a very powerful and popular method which essentially helps you manage your time more effectively and be more productive. So the method is the Eisenhower Matrix method, and it was inspired by Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was the 34th President of the United States. He served 2 terms during the Cold War and was the Supreme Commander of the Allied forces during the World War II. He also developed the US highway network for defense and economic growth. So he was quite an extremely productive person who was able to balance military leadership, presidency, and personal life effectively. And he once said that what is important is seldom urgent and what is urgent is seldom important. Later on, this idea of the Eisenhower Matrix was popularized by the author Stephen Covey, who included the matrix in the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in 1989. So that was some background. Let's now understand the Eisenhower Matrix more deeply and essentially how you could implement it in your day-to-day life. So the Eisenhower Matrix essentially utilizes prioritization. Prioritization, as you might know, is an effective time management technique that makes you more productive. With prioritization, you essentially decide on what you want to focus on first in your day and what you want to focus on later, or maybe not even want to focus on. Like for example, and this could actually explain why you are working on some tasks but you still don't feel like you are making progress because they are not contributing directly to your goals or plans. So let me give you one example that very well explains prioritization and why you need to consider it, and that might also explain why you sometimes don't make progress even though you are working. So let's say you have a client report to make which you need to send tomorrow, and you also want to clean up your email inbox because it just feels so cluttered. So you start working on the email inbox because you just want to work on that, and you spend about 2.5 hours on this. And after that you have a meeting and some other task, and you just realize at the end of the day that you now don't have time to work on the report. So you'll actually start working on it tomorrow. So you have one task that was actually put off for tomorrow, and you just worked on something which wasn't very important, cleaning up your email inbox. You could actually do that during your weekend or the time when you actually were free. So this is one example. If you had actually prioritized your client report and you had made that first, then you would be less stressed about it. And if you still had maybe an hour or so, you could work on the email cleanup. So this is how prioritization really helps. And this method very effectively utilizes prioritization. So let me show you how. So Eisenhower Matrix looks like this. You basically draw 4 quadrants. On the top you have urgent, not urgent, and on the left you have important and not important. So this way you have 4 blocks: urgent and important, not urgent and important, urgent and not important, and not urgent, not important. Let's understand each one. So let's talk about the first quadrant, which is urgent and important. These are actually the tasks which you should do first because they come with a short deadline. They are very important. So they are actually going to make progress towards your goal, and they need to be done now. A few examples could be, let's say, you need to book flights to travel for a meeting tomorrow and you don't want to run out on availability. So it's better that you book your flights right now, so you have the available seats for the early morning flight because you want to reach there by the afternoon. Or let's say you need to send a proposal to a client so you can close the deal as soon as possible. Or in my case, I need to record a video first thing in the morning so I can actually send it to the editor who can edit the video. And if I'm doing it later in the day, then the editor doesn't get enough time to finish the video on the same day, and it might then get stretched to the next day. The next quadrant is then not urgent and important. So these are the tasks which aren't really urgent right now. You don't need to do them right now. You can do them later in the day, or you can do that tomorrow or day after or a few days later, but they are important for you. Let's say, for example, you're running out of grocery at home, maybe just a few items left, and you need to go grocery shopping. You might not need to do that today, but you need to do that this week so you just don't run out of stock. Or let's say you need to get back to gym to be in shape, but you don't really have any health condition as such. You just want to stay fit to never have any health conditions in future. Or you need to plan vacations. Vacations also are important. It totally depends on what you deem as important in your life based on your life situation, your goals and plans. So quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 are the most important quadrants, and these are the tasks that you need to do first in your life. The third quadrant is urgent and not important. Again, these tasks are urgent, they need to be completed as soon as possible, but they are not important to you. Maybe because they don't directly help you with your goals or plans, and these are basically the tasks that you don't really need to focus on. They can be done by someone else. So you can either delegate those tasks or you can actually automate them. For example, you need to clean the house, but you are busy with more important stuff in your life. So you don't actually clean the house, you actually ask someone or pay to someone to clean the house for you. Or another example is, let's say you have a meeting at office and you don't necessarily have to be there, like it will go on, but having some notes is good enough. So you ask your colleague who is attending that meeting to take notes for you. Or maybe if it's not your colleague, you can just automate it by recording the transcriptions of that meeting, and then you can use a software like ChatGPT. This is something I used to do a lot, to summarize everything for you in the form of bullet points. So you just spend less time reading those, and you don't really have to attend a maybe hour-long meeting when you can actually get those updates in just 10 minutes. Or maybe you have to reply to comments on social media on your posts which are related to your business, but you can actually delegate that to someone who could spend their time. Or let's say you need to post on social media and you basically can actually get someone to post for you. Or let's say in my case, I need to publish on social media the content I write. So I essentially use an automation software that would automatically publish on social media. I just need to drop all my content and schedule it, and it automatically does that job for me. So this automation saves me time, so I don't really have to manually spend time on something that's really not a good use of my time, and it can actually be handled by a software. I'm not manually copy pasting that content on the different platforms and hitting publish when the tool is doing that for me automatically. And the final quadrant is not urgent and not important. These are basically the tasks that are neither urgent nor they are important for you. And a lot of these tasks are essentially the time wasters, like spending time on watching videos or scrolling through social media, playing games, gossiping with friends. Or other examples could be you need to attend that free webinar you signed up for, but you just now don't remember or don't see the significance of it anymore. Or maybe you are making too many changes to the presentation slide that you need to share. It's already looking pretty good. So clearly, with the help of these quadrants, you can more strategically manage your task, save yourself more time by delegating or by completely deleting those tasks which are not important or urgent, and therefore with all this you are feeling much less stressed in your day and making better progress towards your goals and plans. Now, the Eisenhower Matrix can be applied at a macro level, like you could actually plan it weekly or monthly for the weekly and monthly task, or you could actually use it at a micro level for your daily task management. What I'm going to do now, as a very fun exercise, I'm going to give some tasks and then we can just try to organize them into different quadrants. This will help you better understand how you could implement the Eisenhower Matrix in your day-to-day life. So let's say you have different tasks to complete in a day. Task number 1 is there's a client query that needs to be solved. Number 2 is you need to prepare for an interview that is going to take place this afternoon. Number 3 is you need to file tax returns and the deadline is next month. 4th is you need to attend this daily team meeting, but there's no clear agenda as such and there's no updates you need to share, but it's there in the calendar. Number 5 is you need to plan the dates for your next vacation. The next task is then you need to write a post for social media for business. And then you have to work on new ideas for a new product, which you actually plan to launch next month. And the last one is you need to get grocery for friends visiting for dinner. So considering all the different 4 quadrants, let's now organize it. The client query, because it needs to be solved and it actually impacts the business, it can actually go to the first quadrant, that's urgent and important, because the sooner you reply to the client query, the better customer satisfaction will be, and therefore it will be better for your business. The second one, you need to prepare for an interview this afternoon, because this interview is going to take place this afternoon, so you better start working on that now so you are well prepared for it. Then you need to file tax and the deadline is next month. Because it's not urgent, it's going to take place next month, so you can actually put in quadrant 2 where you can schedule it maybe for this week or for next week. so you have it ready by the next month. The fourth one, then you need to attend this daily team meeting, but you don't have an agenda and therefore it's maybe not important. So you can maybe put in number 3, where you could actually ask your colleague to attend it. In my case, I would actually put in number 4, because if this meeting is not having a clear agenda, I could simply skip it. I could actually delete it. Then you need to plan the dates for your next vacation. Again, it could go into number 2 because they are important, but you can actually plan them later today, or you could do them tomorrow, so you can put them for number 2. The next one is you need to write a post for social media. Again, you could actually delegate it, or you could find softwares like I make use of a lot of AI tools to write for some copywriting, so that really helps. So I can actually put it number 3 for delegation. Then work on new ideas for a new product. That is important stage because you need those ideas, but because it's going to be launched in the next month, you could plan it as well, so you can put it in quadrant number 2. The next one is need to go get grocery for friends visiting for dinner. Again, you don't know if you're going to have time, so if you have less time because you have so many tasks in the day, it could actually go into number 3, where you could actually ask your friend to pick some grocery for you. And if it is not possible, you could actually order that grocery online and save yourself time going to the market and coming back. By the time you're reaching home, the grocery could be arriving your home as well. And that was the Eisenhower Matrix. Hopefully with this video you now have a clear understanding of how this technique actually works and how you could implement it in your day-to-day life. But this is just one method or technique for the productivity. There are so many other steps that you can actually take. I actually have various different steps that I utilize as part of my productivity plan, and that also includes managing your to-do list better. And I make more and more videos about those techniques, so if you are interested, please subscribe to the channel for more such videos. And not just videos related to productivity, I talk about the self-growth and life in general. So if you are interested in this type of content, subscribing will really ensure that you never miss out on new videos. And if you like this video, please like and share with your friends, and have a lovely day.